Title ideas like better than eggs, the #1 food that revives a fading brain and boosts memory, are everywhere online. They are incredibly compelling because they touch on a very real, very deep human vulnerability. The fear of losing our memories, our independence, and ultimately, ourselves. It is entirely understandable to want a simple, singular solution, a magic bullet food, to protect against dementia and cognitive decline. However, to be completely candid with you, the premise of a single miracle food that revives a fading brain is a marketing myth. Science does not support the idea that one specific ingredient can single-handedly reverse cognitive decline or prevent dementia. Furthermore, eggs themselves are actually fantastic for brain health, largely due to their high choline content, which is a precursor to a vital neurotransmitter involved in memory. But if we are looking for the nutritional powerhouses that possess the strongest, most scientifically backed ability to protect your brain, slow cognitive aging, and build resilience against dementia, we need to look at a broader class of foods. Let us ground this discussion in reality, separate the clickbait from the clinical evidence, and explore the true nature of memory loss, the early signs of dementia, and the real dietary and lifestyle shifts that can genuinely protect your mind. The aging brain. Understanding memory loss. Before we can revive a fading brain, we have to understand why it fades in the first place. The human brain is a marvel of biological engineering, but like any complex system, it is subject to wear and tear over time. As we age, several physiological changes occur naturally within the brain. Shrinkage of brain mass. The brain actually loses volume as we get older, particularly in the frontal lobe and the hippocampus, the areas responsible for executive function and forming new memories. Thinning of the cortical surface. The outer layer of the brain thins out, which can slow down processing speeds and make multitasking more difficult. Decreased neurotransmitter production. The brain produces fewer chemical messengers such as dopamine, serotonin, and acetylcholine. This reduction can affect mood, focus, and memory retrieval. Reduced blood flow. Capillaries can narrow with age, decreasing the flow of oxygen and nutrient-rich blood to brain tissues. Increased inflammation and oxidative stress. Cellular byproducts. Free radicals accumulate over decades, causing cellular damage and triggering low-grade chronic inflammation that damages neurons. It is important to validate that noticing your memory slipping can be a terrifying experience. Walking into a room and forgetting why you are there or struggling to recall a familiar name can immediately trigger fears of dementia. Yet, these minor lapses are often a normal part of the aging process outlined above, not necessarily a disease. Early. Signs of dementia versus normal aging. Dementia is not a single disease, but rather an umbrella term for a decline in cognitive ability severe enough to interfere with daily life. Alzheimer's disease is the most common cause, but there are many others, including vascular dementia and Lewy body dementia. Recognizing the early signs is crucial because while there is currently no cure, early intervention, lifestyle changes, and certain medications can significantly slow the progression of symptoms and improve quality of life. Here is a clear breakdown to help distinguish between normal, age-related cognitive changes and potential early signs of dementia. Typical age-related memory changes, occasionally forgetting where you placed your keys or glasses, but eventually retracing your steps to find them. Briefly forgetting a name or a word, but remembering it later. Missing an occasional monthly payment or appointment. Needing occasional help to use a new piece of technology or a complex appliance. Feeling momentarily distracted or losing your train of thought during a conversation. Red flags. Early signs of dementia. Memory loss that disrupts daily life. Forgetting recently learned information, asking the same questions repeatedly, and increasingly relying on memory aids or family members for things you used to handle yourself. Challenges in planning or solving problems. Struggling to follow a familiar recipe, keep track of monthly bills, or manage a budget that you previously handled with ease. Difficulty completing familiar tasks, having trouble driving to a familiar location, organizing a grocery list, or remembering the rules of a favorite game. Confusion with time or place, losing track of dates, seasons, or the passage of time, sometimes forgetting where you are or how you got there. Trouble. Understanding visual images and spatial relationships. Difficulty reading, judging distance, or determining color or contrast, which can cause issues with driving or navigating physical spaces. New problems with words in speaking or writing. Stopping in the middle of a conversation with no idea how to continue, struggling with vocabulary, or calling things by the wrong name, e.g., calling a watch a hand clock, misplacing things and losing the ability to retrace steps, putting items in unusual places, like putting car keys in the refrigerator, and being completely unable to retrace steps to find them. This is often accompanied by accusing others of stealing, decreased or poor judgment, making unusually bad decisions with money, falling for scams, or paying less attention to personal grooming and hygiene. Withdrawal from work or social activities. Scaling back on hobbies, social engagements, or sports because of difficulty keeping up with what is happening. Changes in mood and personality. Becoming confused, suspicious, depressed, fearful, or anxious. Getting easily upset at home, with friends, or when out of your comfort zone. If you or a loved one are experiencing the red flags listed above, it is imperative to consult a neurologist or a primary care physician. Do not rely on dietary changes alone to address these symptoms. The better than eggs revelation. The true brain foods. Let us address the better than eggs claim. Eggs are an exceptional source of choline, lutein, and high-quality protein, all of which are vital for brain health. Choline, in particular, is used by the brain to produce acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter critical for memory and learning. If we are looking for foods that are arguably more protective against the specific pathological changes associated with dementia, such as the buildup of beta-amyloid plaques, tau tangles, and severe neuroinflammation, we must look to foods rich in omega-3 fatty acids, powerful antioxidants, and specific flavonoids. Rather than a single number one food, nutritional science points overwhelmingly to a synergistic eating pattern, known as the MIND diet, Mediterranean-intervention for neurodegenerative delay. This diet isolates the specific foods that have the most profound impact on cognitive longevity. Here are the true heavyweight champions of brain health that could be considered the secret to reviving cognitive function. Fatty fish, the ultimate brain builder. If forced to pick a single number one food category for brain health, fatty fish is the most scientifically sound answer. Your brain is composed of roughly 60% fat, and half of that fat is comprised of omega-3 fatty acids. The mechanism. The most crucial omega-3 for the brain is DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. DHA is literally a structural component of your cerebral cortex, the area of the brain responsible for memory, language, creativity, and emotion. The benefits. Omega-3s build brain and nerve cells, making them essential for learning and memory. They also have profound anti-inflammatory properties. Furthermore, research suggests that omega-3s may help lower blood levels of beta-amyloid, the protein that forms damaging clumps in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. The sources: wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, trout, and herring. The reality check. A fish oil supplement can help if you do not eat fish, but obtaining these fats from whole foods provides synergistic nutrients that supplements lack. Blueberries and dark berries, the brain protectors. Berries, particularly blueberries, are often referred to as brain berries in the nutritional community, and for good reason. They offer incredible neuroprotective benefits. The mechanism. Berries are packed with antioxidants, specifically a class of flavonoids called anthocyanins, which give them their deep blue, purple, and red colors. The benefits. Antioxidants act against both oxidative stress and inflammation, conditions that contribute to brain aging and neurodegenerative diseases. Some of the antioxidants in blueberries have been found to accumulate in the brain and help improve communication between brain cells. Animal studies have even shown that blueberries help improve memory and may delay short-term memory loss. The sources: blueberries, blackberries, strawberries,